felting is a process where you take raw wool that was sheared off of a sheep or an alpaca, and it was then carded and put through a process of cleaning. Then you take the raw wool and you use a felting needle, a foam block, and the shape that we're going to make out of our chenille stem as the base of the shape. The raw wool is then felted onto the shape to create a blank figure that has no color. Once that figure is made by needling the felt on, you then can choose your color to cover, and the colors are completely different and there's a huge variety. So you would then cover the raw wool with a very thin layer of colored wool. Sculpey is very hard and strong, and the wool is very soft. So when you use the two together, it will create an interesting look. When you're done felting your creature body, probably, the Sculpey will be glued on. So let me show you some of the felted creatures that I've made. Here's an owl. This owl was started with the raw felt first, and then I actually used the colored on top to make the polka dots and all of the features, including the little toes. The little toes were a little difficult because if you see, I have stripes on them, and that's a little tricky to make, but you can do it. I know you can. The only process is a needle process where you poke the felt into itself, and the felt acts like Velcro and holds onto itself. You do not use glue, you do not sew, you do not use thread. So I made a bunch of owls for my son's bedroom when he was a baby. So I'm pretty used to the process. If I was going to make this owl out of felt and Sculpey, what I would do is probably make his eyes out of Sculpey, and his nose, or his beak, I should say, and his legs, his little feet, and the rest would be all felt. So in the end, I would take that white Sculpey and I would shape it into the toes, I would bake it, and then I would paint it, and then I would glue it onto the felt creature, as well as making the eyes out of Sculpey too, and the beak. Probably all of them would be done the same way. The eyes would be the Sculpey, the beak, and the toes. I would still use the felt for polka dots on the body. Let me show you Mr. Giggles. He's done only in felt. However, if I was to make him out of Sculpey and felt, the arms would be made out of Sculpey, his feet would be made out of Sculpey, and I would have to move the arms into the right position, take them and bake them so they stayed in the same position. See, they're not staying right now because in the middle of this felt is the chenille stem, and you can bend it, but it doesn't really stay put. I would probably, if I wanted to keep these hands over the mouth because he's laughing, I would want to sew a line through the hands into the face so that it stays like that.